yeah, I was talking to Sumba. I don't know if you brought this up, Sumba, about what was it? Oh, mapping out like the year of a school, like the average American school, when it starts and stops, and then long holidays, and then mapping out like Korean school starts, stops, long holidays, and like other countries we have, because I think like we can see where the overlap is and be like, okay,
Mm,
this is the best time, because it also helps with strategy for the other teachers. Be like, hey, this is the best time to plan because there's no test going on, there's no, like holiday, and they're not on, leave from school. So like this is the sweet spot
mm,
for when you should plan your Storypal event,
mm. That's
depending on
true.
when
Yeah.
you. Yeah, because I'm like, I remember last time when you had some people, and but I was ending school, and I felt
Oh,
so
yeah.
bad because yeah, a lot of my younger students really love, communicating with their story pen pal. But it was summer. Then, as much as they loved it, they really couldn't focus.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Okay. Uh, what's the best way to do that then? Like, is it Excel file and then announcing it somehow?
I
I
don't
guess
know.
we first of all have to be on top of it.
Yeah, I think for me, what I would see would be more, um, not only appealing, but would register best for me is, those like yearly calendars where you can't write anything in, but all you see is all the dates and all the months. Like,
Which
Like
let
which
me see
one?
if I can
The
find.
yearly calendar?
like like an agenda book?
No, but like the ones that it's like when you look at the calendar, there's no place to write. It's just the numbers, so you can like circle the numbers. Sometimes like people will give them to you, and they seem really useless. It's just like all the months and then the dates of the month.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like those
Ah,
calendars, right?
Huh?
I see, I see.
Like just like a decorative calendar that they give you.
Yeah, like
Ah,
you'll get one in the mail or something. And
Yeah.
it's like
you're
it's
right.
the sole purpose is the circle things, right? Well, if you could like color code countries, like maybe Korea would be blue. And then like you just put
Mm,
a circle on start, circle on end, or like on all the, or block off the times. Like I'll have to show you my have you guys do either of you use
hmm?
Offer?
Hopper? It's a app where it tracks down like the projected price of tickets coming up. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second.
It's spelled
Wait.
T
I'll just Hopper.
H
Whoa.
There's
O
a there there's
Hopper.
a visual style that they take that I think would be really great for that. Well, let me see if I can find it. So in Korea, and I want to visit Korea in March. I can put in the flights, like I'm leaving from Dayton to um Dayton to Korea, and then I put in the dates, and then it'll pull up the whole entire year on a calendar, and then it'll like show me in red, yellow, or green. Like red is like these dates are going to be the most expensive. Yellow is like these are kind of better, and green is like hey these are when the cheapest tickets are. I bring that up because when you see the calendar, it's nice because you don't have to actually look at like a spreadsheet. You can just see colors and understand so quickly you can make your decision. You know what I mean? So it's just a very like, what is it? UX design friendly for the eye. That makes sense. Here,
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm gonna try to do something and then see here. Oh good, I'm at a stop site. Now I can actually help you guys. Give me a second. Phew. Okay, stop sign. This is the first time I've ever asked you to last forever. Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna screenshot this. Where do you want me to send it?
Just send it to my WhatsApp and then I can send it to Hila.
Okay.
Unless the three one you have access to.
Well, I'll just do the thing that comes up fastest. So I'm sending it to you on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Okay, done.
I'm sending it to Hila now. It's in the WhatsApp, Hila.
Okay, did you send it? Okay, great. So like something like that might be nice. So teachers can just quickly look and be like, hey, if I want to have a chat with someone in Kenya, then they can like put in Kenya or whatever, and then they see like, okay, well these months are good for someone to have an event because they're on holiday, so it's all red. But then the green months or the green times, oh, okay, these are the best times when they're free. And the nice thing about this is maybe like as you get teachers added on, they can like highlight and de-highlight their own calendar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So that way they can block off times that they're not available. That way you guys don't really have to do the work. The teachers can just, you could be like, hey, what day to what day are you not available? What day to day do you have testing that you might, okay, I'm not trying to, Mercedes, I understand that I made a mistake. Like, just give me some clarity on it. Anyways, just a thought, because I thought that would be something that would really help you guys out as far as helping the teachers to plan when they want to have their event.
Right, and I guess even like this can also apply for the students who are super busy.
Right, absolutely. Someone can just see like, oh, my pen pal hasn't responded and like what's going on, and they can be like, oh, they have exams this week, so I understand.
And I guess everybody can benefit from sort of planning. So, and then and if the part of those planning becomes a public information, like public knowledge, and it helps collaborating in communication, that would be really nice. Oh, I wish Sven was here to
Yeah,
hear, just like be in this moment.
but
Yeah.
luckily it's recorded, so you can see it later.
Yeah, we're recording it.
Sorry,
So
I hope
I will tell him
helpful.
like you must watch this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that was helpful. It just dawned on me when we were looking for things, and then I was looking for flights, and I was like, Storypal needs this.
Oh, that's really great idea. Yeah.
And it could be something that, because teachers might forget, to add those dates in. So I think if you can do it when a teacher is registering, like I said, I think it's nice if the teachers are the one registering before the students do. And it would be nice just like to have the teacher register, like make it a couple pages long, like, hey, name, where's your school, what kind, things that, like, what grade do you teach, what level do you teach, and then, just have like a couple pages of registration, and then have them in that beginning time be like, hey, when are the times your school is on holiday, or are the times your school is usually on holiday, when are your school usually have exams. That way they could just go in a calendar, like when you can click on the calendar and then you could just click on dates. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a little bit tedious in the beginning for the teachers, but you can kind of explain, hey, this is the reason why. It's a little bit longer of a process, but this helps when you're trying to collaborate. So that way they understand the process and why it takes so long. Because, I mean, I'm sure you don't want it to take longer than a 2-minute registration, because then people will not want to do it, or they'll be like, I don't have time, I'll do it later. But it is something that if you don't get them in the beginning and then you ask for that later, they're not going to remember to do it.
Yeah, they'll definitely not want to do it at all. They'll be like, no.
Yeah. Okay, I'm parked. Yay!
Oh.
Happy, I'm so scared.
Where are you headed?
Huh? I'm at
Where
church.
you
I'm at church.
Church starting soon?
Huh?
Is church starting soon?
No, I'll let you guys go when it does. It'll start in the next 10, 15 minutes. So I got 15 minutes with you guys.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we will share this But do you think some teachers like they should be able to skip this or should be sort of
Maybe. So the only thing that I would say is if you get multiple teachers from the same school, I don't know if there's a way to do this. Again, this is me not knowing anything about software engineering or whatever, but it would be nice is if someone from that school, like their name comes up that they're at that school and they already registered and they already did the dates, that it will bypass that for the next teacher. So like the first teacher from that school that puts in that information is done. But then any other teacher, like as soon as they get that the name, like maybe they have like a way to save. So that way, like once the school registers, like on a drop down, you can already like as you're typing it in, see that that school has registered, and then you can like click on it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
and I
it
guess
let
if they want to add like their own custom
yeah,
calendar,
and
then
then
like add on to it.
right, they could probably like edit, or there could be a section like add dates not available, you know, and that could be like afterwards. But like the initial thing, the first teacher that registers, they just do a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of the longer process. And then
Mm-hmm.
everyone after that, they just pick their school, automatically those dates. And then the other teacher can edit according to their calendar. And it won't change the other teacher's calendar. So it has to be like a
Mm-hmm.
teacher by teacher calendar
Mm-hmm.
basis.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
then, like, okay. Sorry,
they
go ahead.
should be able to like if they are the school member then and if there's like already a calendar then they should be able to like import like the
Yeah,
one that is already made or something.
I think that would be a good idea. So
Mm-hmm.
then what I'm thinking is in order to collaborate, let's say I want to collaborate with a teacher in Busan. I don't know their name. I just want someone in Korea. So maybe just like this Hopper app, I can be like, you know, like, who do you want to collaborate with or where do you want to collaborate with? And then I could put in Korea. All the teachers from Korea pop up. And instead of choosing from place, I choose specific teacher or specific area. So maybe then I choose like Korea and then all the teachers from Korea that are registered pop up. And then maybe I'll be like, and then like, you know, if they have they're actively looking for participants already, there could be like a looking for participants little like banner or flag, you know, by their name. You know how like sometimes when you go shopping, there's like a little banner that says new. So, you know, something's new. So then
Uh-huh.
like, you know, maybe just on the people who are actively looking for a collaborator, maybe be like, you know, like a color will pop up like looking for collaborators or, you know, uh, uh, starting something soon. And then, you know, the teacher can click on that person and then they can see like if their dates match up or, you know, like what they're collaborating on. That way the teacher can be like, oh yeah, I can get in on this.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
also with the schedule, like maybe some schedules might align more with your classroom schedule than some other teachers might too. So that would be a good variable to think about as well.
I just think the more autonomous you make this for the teachers, like that's why I told you guys last time, I think should be more teacher centered because the teachers are the ones bringing the students in. Now there can be a platform, like you said, like your current platform could be like somewhere that they can segue into, but I think the majority of your effort should be towards teachers connecting with teachers because they're the ones, like students, this is a project, you want them to continue to talk, but that's not really on their mind at the moment, you know? Like some of them will continue, but it's not a long lasting thing for the students, unfortunately. But the teachers, they're the ones that are going to come back year to year to year, you know, to look for collaborations, to look for teachers, you know, teachers that they like to talk with. They can, you know, rework with them, you know, they can plan
Mm-hmm.
things for the future. So
Yeah.
I think now the like your current platform I think is good and I think that's where they can send the students, but as far as the emphasis goes, I think it should be on teachers connecting with teachers across the world and collaborate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or if not, like something is more important than the other, then like this part where you're talking about, if that is there, then maybe it will really make it make it really value added for all members, because if the teachers can really collaborate, and that will impact the students' experience, and then like the students will be more engaged, which means like it's just
Yeah,
virtuous cycle.
the more invested your teachers are, the more invested,
Mm.
the more they have something planned out already, then
Yeah.
yeah, it'll naturally impact the students because they're the ones
Mm-hmm.
handling the students.
Mm-hmm. You're right. I guess we've been sort of looking at things from these very extreme opposite end, which was what can we do to make sure that there is nothing that teacher has to do. It was not
Yeah,
possible. Like teachers still had to sign up the students, and like these things could not bypass. But
right,
we wanted to create a situation where teachers really don't have to do anything, and just
right,
still able to see, oh, students are talking with international friends and they're doing some activities. And so that was our main focus. But I think it's like I guess this is maybe like the political end of Storypal with internal feature dynamic.
yeah,
Uh yeah, so I think we have to really look into this. And we actually started looking into this.
hmm,
So this is really timely. And
it's
yeah,
great.
yeah, because we were asking how can we how can we create the system where we can actually tell teachers, oh, here's how you can collaborate. Like, because I realized when I was making the teacher orientation PPT for these
Hmm,
11 teachers,
hmm,
I reached the point where, okay, what teachers can do. And so I went over, okay, teachers can uh, help students create the account, monitor their activities, help them change password, and then like also collaborate with other teachers. And then under there, I was like, okay, they can find the teachers through the students that their pen pals that the students are matched with. You know how if your student is matched with say Miss Puja's students, then you can see that, oh, this student is guided joined with Miss Puja. So
hmm,
you already know her, but if you didn't know her, then you could reach out to her, because you see
hmm,
that your students are connecting many of her students, maybe.
hmm,
So that's one way. And then the other way is like if there's interesting lounge card, whether that is made
hmm,
by the teacher themselves or like students, and you see that, oh, this would be a good, I see that they're working or interested in something that is relevant to our class or my project. And so they can reach out. And then the third one, though, which
hmm,
now would be maybe more proactive, maybe really searching, really using all the resources that Storypal has, that is above serendipity, above like random match or the destiny's wheel, let's say. And so when we reached that point, we were asking ourselves, what's the best way? Yeah, I
that
mean,
makes sense.
same for the students. It was same for the students. How can we reduce the work on the student and you know give them the matches? But then we are making like a direct match, so students not needing the match by the system for
Hmm,
the premium members, right? Like
hmm,
paid students can just message or write letter to the friends that they find on the lounge, or
hmm,
uh, if somebody comments on their lounge and they find it interesting, then they can write a letter to that student.
hmm,
And so,
hmm,
yeah, and so for those students also, like that is again based on some conditions, but can if we let them use all the resources and proactively search somebody, then how
Mm-hmm.
should they search? How should they find a good
Mm.
person to connect with and reach out?
Right.
So the situation is a bit different for the teachers and the students, but for the teachers, like what you said, I think is really, really, really great. Like starting at this very practical point, the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, we did something at work recently, and I thought that as you were talking, I'm like, oh, this might be important. We did something like called project mapping, where we wanted to like map every step of the way, like from when someone learns about Storypal, what happens next, and who's in charge of each element of that. Like who's in
Mm-mm,
charge of bringing the teachers, who's in charge of this, and then what do the
mm,
teachers do? So it was like step by step by step. And I think like, I mean, you already kind of mapped it out, but it would be interesting to see like what you guys think, like what would happen, what each step of the process looks like. A
mm-hmm.
process map, not project map. Did I say project? Process. It doesn't matter.
Process
Anyways,
map, project map. Yeah.
yeah. So it would be interesting to see how your process map for a
Uh-huh.
teacher, let's say I've never heard of Storypal,
Uh-huh.
and then go from there. Like take a teacher or a student, even both. Maybe you want to process map for a teacher and process map for a student. Be like, okay,
Yeah,
what
we
does this
do
look
have
like?
to. Also school
And
admins.
where, yeah, and actually, as you were speaking and you were like, oh, yeah, this is a premium member thing. So when I was teaching and it was during the pandemic, there was uh, a website I used all the time. It was called Quizzes. And so you could go on there and you could find quizzes that other teachers have made, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can make your own quiz.
Mm-hmm. Just
And so
there, it's
like,
just called quizzes.
Yeah, I'm
yeah, it's
looking at
QUIVVEZ, I think,
Ah.
quizzes.com. And I'm not sure if that's the correct spelling anymore, but I would check. It's like a free place to make tests. And so for the most part, I would use it to make my test. Now, there are some limitations. I could not record any audio, right? And I had to use like stock photos that they already had available to me. If I paid for premium, however, I could record audio and put it on the test, which for me, that's the one. So for me, that was important because I was a speaking and listening teacher. So, and I needed sometimes things that were more tailored to my own class, like certain photos that I needed rather than what they already had available. Also, it was nice because I could see what other teachers had done and I could edit from their tests. I don't know. This this is going somewhere. Bear with me. But and then another way that so you could set a time limit for the students to take the test. But if you paid for the premium account, you could set it where there was no time limit, because it got to the point where like after the time limit was reached, I couldn't reopen the test for other students. So I would either have to resend them the link, or I would have to make the quiz again. So, which was both tedious when all I really wanted to do was open the quiz up. So again, that was a premium feature. And what other things were premium? Oh, keeping track of all the students. So like if you wanted to see what your students' score were, you could go by classroom and kind of look at their scores. But if you got premium, then it would take all your students, all their quizzes, and they would put it on a nice Excel sheet. So you didn't have to like go through and like see each one and log into each class. So I'm saying for Storypal, you might want to do it where like a premium option for your, like give them a lot of free stuff, but a premium option might be like, hey, we will Excel sheet your students to show you what they've been active on. Because some teachers, rather than going and clicking and, you might want to see like each classroom, but if they have to go and click on each classroom, A premium member might get like, oh, an Excel sheet with every class they have, every student they have, and what they engaged in. Like, so that might be something someone might pay for. A premium member might be able to, maybe right now they might choose Korea, but you only give them the options of teachers that are actively collaborating with someone. A premium member might be able to see all teachers, whether they're actively collaborating or not, so that they can form future collaborations. I mean, I'm just thinking, like these small little details might be ways that you can like make it a premium account. And then like, obviously don't make it a lot of money because teachers are poor. And unfortunately, and they can be like a teacher like option. There could be like a department option for like payment plans. Like an individual teacher only pays this much. A department, let's say the whole English department wants to buy this for all the teachers, then it pays that much. If the school wants it for the school-wide, then there's that other option. Because I know for me, it bothered me because like certain websites I wanted to pay for, it was a bit expensive, and it was like, yeah, add 3 to 4 teachers. Well, I just wanted to buy it for me,
Mm-hmm.
And then like sometimes it's like, well, why do we have to pay for every single teacher when we want it for the whole department? So those are some, just some things to think about, like maybe like those nice little convenient features, that won't like dissuade someone from joining, but would be really nice if they had them. Might be things you want to charge for, like, hey, if you want premium account, do.
Mm-hmm.
Just some options.
Yeah. It's
Sorry, I know it's a lot.
no, it's good to, and what's funny is actually for the Busan, like the departments, the education department, I did manually make the Excel report for them.
Yeah, and that should have been something, like that's like up. Well, I know they're probably paying, but like, in
Yeah,
the
I
future
mean,
that
because
could be.
they're paying, and so
Yeah.
they wanted to know, easily what is happening for each school because they sponsored, 10 schools, and they wanted to know
Mm-hmm.
for each school, like for, the teacher name, and then the student list, and
That's it.
if they have reached the minimum requirements of, because they allow students to write this in their official report card if they have done X number of activities. So
Ooh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So like for towards the end, for the last 3 months, like I had to update monthly and send.
Yeah, and see, that's something that, yeah, you have to. That's a really amazing way to chart, but that's something that like someone who's not, let's say for me, like when you guys help me out by doing that, that's something I should pay for because that's a lot of work on your part, you know?
I think, yeah, I think we could make it a premium option. I think for that one.
I mean, technically,
And
Busan's premium. Any of those extra things they're asking you for, I would take note of that. Like, what are these extra quirks that teachers keep asking us for that they're not like standard, but they're like really convenient for the teacher?
yeah,
And start
convenience
making
is
like a
super
little,
important. Yeah.
yeah, start making a little note of that. Like,
Mhm.
what are these convenient things people keep asking us for?
Yeah. And I I think for, yeah, right, individual teachers, it's also important. And just I think like the education department case is really interesting because it's I guess the kind of administrative level supporting the teachers as well. So it's not just like teacher managing like student, but then
Yeah.
the kind of support level, one level up, like overlooking the teachers as well. So
Mhm.
like for them, they would get the teacher card, like the student card, teacher card.
Mhm.
But then that wasn't enough. Like they needed they needed Excel file style and which they
Yeah.
could,
Gotcha.
because I guess they would have to attach it to their own report system.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially that's sort of like the administrative thing.
I
But
wonder if there's,
mm,
oh, sorry. I wonder if there's a way also to lem to lessen your work a little bit, a way to export data into an Excel for you, like not offer
yeah,
that to
yeah.
anyone, but like a secret way for you to do that. That way, you don't have to sit there and make it. You just have to kind of go in and check.
Yeah, I think it is probably possible technically. It is, I know it is possible. We just need to do it, and details is important. So like the experience, just designing the whole, okay, we need the Excel file, but like how can we make that happen and what happens after that and so on. So like, should we save that file or not? Like they just download end or so we can, I think we will have to discuss this as part of the project mapping,
Yeah.
process mapping, project mapping. Yeah.
Like,
So it's good to comment on that here because
I, I
someone
just
I
I just thought of another thing that you might be able to add to premium.
mhm.
Like if you wanted, this could be also be a really great way for, again, I'm sorry I always throw you ideas. I'm
No, throw it.
so sorry.
So sorry.
So huh?
I'm so
Why are
sorry.
you sorry about that?
Because
You
I
have
mean, I
you
don't
have
know.
some like British blood or Asian blood?
A what?
Like, I heard British people say sorry a lot and also
Oh
Asian
yeah.
people too.
My Korean friends used to tell me because they were like skateboarders and they were like on the fringe of society, but like they would look at me and they'd be like, "You're very Korean." I was like, "What?" They're like, "You're always saying sorry about everything. You're always sharing everything you have, like like drinks and stuff. You always make sure to like." And I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean, that's how I was raised." So yeah, I guess inside there's a little Asian part,
Mm-mm-mm.
but no, so sorry.
So
Okay,
throw
so
it at us.
another thing I thought of. So I know there's like websites like Teachers Pay Teachers and they offer like worksheets and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
you may, I don't know if this is possible, again, just thinking, but in each teacher's lounge, like for teachers, like teachers seeing other teachers,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be cool if they could save the project information that way. Because most teachers, what they do is they just recycle their work. So if they could save like their worksheets, their lesson plan onto Storypal somehow, right? And that way it's all there. And maybe again, something premium might be that other teachers can see or contact, or well, they could see and use other teachers' worksheets. You know,
Mm. Oh,
so
like
like if they could,
teachers pay teachers free version?
yeah, like the teacher pay teacher free version, but like your premium account could be maybe the maybe the free thing is that teachers can see like the basic gist of a teacher's like lesson plan. Okay, so for example, let's say I am collaborating with Sumbal and
Mhm.
I am doing a lesson on Sumbal, give me something.
Sustainable development goals.
Perfect, sustainable development goals. And so let's say you, Hiwa, as a teacher, you can go in and you could see that there was a lesson done on sustainable development goals, but you can't unlock it. All you can see is the basic gist and like how many worksheets there are. Premium would allow you to go in, see the actual lesson plans, and get the worksheet. But so like basic plan is you can kind of see it and then you can reach out to the teacher to kind of talk to them about it and ask for it, right? But premium would allow you to just go in and grab that teacher's thing. Now, the option is sometimes teachers, they're very private about their lesson plan. So a teacher can lock access, even with premium or not, teachers should be able to lock access to their
Mhm.
lesson plans if they don't want anyone to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
if they don't mind it to be in a shared space, then they can open
Mm.
that up. Premium
Mm.
allows them to download the worksheets to see the whole lesson plan.
Mm.
But basic is like you can kind of see, like we talked about sustainable development. There's 5 worksheets involved with this. It was a 2-week project. The goal was to get, it was between this many students. The goal was to get, what would you do in sustainable development in your city? So
Mm-hmm.
you could see the basics, but premium, you can open up and see all of it. Another
Mm-hmm.
thing, like, I think it'd be cool to, like, make this, like, for teachers, there's a space for collaboration, but there's also space for, like, classroom design. A lot of teachers, like, they like to share and collaborate on, like, what their classroom looks like, both virtual classroom or actual classroom. So, like, different things. And then, again, this is getting too far into it, but, like, you could even make available, or the teacher can make available, and you guys should do it. Make available, like if a teacher shows certain things in their classroom, like, hey, I'm doing a unit on sustainable development. This is what my board looks like, right? You can find some of the things that they're showing on Amazon and link the product, and then you get affiliate marketing money if they click on the product and buy it through the website. So if the teacher puts up pictures of what they used in their classroom, then you can use it for affiliate marketing. You put out a list like, hey, if you like what this teacher did, these are some, like links to go and buy it. And that makes you guys money too. And again, that would be on the teacher side of things,
Mm-hmm.
not
Right.
student
Mm-hmm.
side.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess it
Sorry.
goes to the convenient side, I guess, as long as it's not like the goal is not about just randomly advertise, but to, I guess, if the teacher might be looking for that book anyways, say if the teacher is
Right.
talking about like the uh Mandela's book, like a book about Mandela, and like if you're showing books about Mandela, then I guess it is not too out there, too unconnected. Yes, that's
Yeah.
what you're
Then you
saying,
can
right?
just,
Yeah.
right, like you in Korea on the Korean side. I mean, it might take some work, but it might get you some revenue. Like you can link Shopee sites. Like I wouldn't link Amazon because they're not going to get it forever. But a teacher in the U.S., I'm going to use affiliate marketing for Amazon sites. I'm going to link, like, if you like this teacher's plan, here's some books about Mandela. Then it's there. It's the convenience of it. Teachers just are going to,
Mhm.
we're busy. We're just going to click, and each click
Mhm.
goes cha-ching in your pocket,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
again, like, oh, sustainable development. Here are some great, like resources, if you're planning a sustainable development lesson. And, if the teacher you're already using, you're basically just looking at what the teacher has already done and then finding things the teacher talks about and putting it on there. Like, even like my friend from Korea, she asked me to buy her a timer. It's this huge jumbo timer so
Mhm.
so her students could like see how much time it takes to write.
Mm.
It was expensive. It was like $30. I mean, I bought it for her because I love my honey, but even stupid, silly things like that. So a lesson on Nelson Mandela and this jumbo timer, so all the students can see what time it is. Just
Mm.
like
Yeah.
random, yeah. Anyway, just things I thought.
Mm-mm-mm. Right. And I guess now with like ChatGPT and these things, I guess in the back end, those things will become more practical, I guess, because it will be a lot of maybe too much work for us to manually go through. Okay, what did this teacher share? And then find the link from whether that is
Yes,
Amazon or other resources places, and then link it. But then I guess if we somehow assign the ChatGPT or things like that to, okay, review
yeah.
this and show what is relevant for this age group and at this level uh, that you
The
find.
on,
So,
the only other thing that I'm thinking is if you make it kind of profitable for both you and the teacher, so the teacher can link what they use, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe like the teacher can get some of the money versus as you are the landing page or like you're the platform they're posting it on, you get most of the money, but then like they get some, because then it's profitable for the teacher to
Mm-hmm.
upload things. That way it cuts you out. I don't know if there's a way to do that, like to share, like, like, oh, if someone clicks on your link, we get, you get X amount of the product. I mean, everybody knows about affiliate marketing these days, but not everyone wants to invest in the time to make a blog, right? So
Right,
maybe
right,
like
right, right.
if they're already posting things and then you are being like, hey, become a partner with us or something like, if you
Mm-mm-mm.
become a partner with us, we give you premium access and you get X amount, like we'll pay, like maybe you give them a little bit of money every time they, like find another teacher to join or
Mm-hmm.
their link becomes profitable. Then you like,
Mm-mm.
and cash back in teachers' pockets is like amazing.
Yeah, I think we will have to, at the end, we will have to have something like that to add more value.
But
I think it would be,
I
yeah,
mean, right now, right, it's just building, but
so that would be sort of like really blend like the education and publishing because right now it like the I think it is sort of less for maybe teachers in outside Korea. I think it's less because already many teachers I think there use like teachers pay teachers type of website where it's
right,
the teachers are actually the publishers and then it's like the consumer they're both they call it I guess prosumers like you produce you consume instead of like just a big textbook company makes something and then it's like a top down teachers only
yeah,
buy so teachers buy from each other and so that is sort of already happening and yeah I guess similar style and but
I
but
mean, you would have to see what your teachers on your website are using, what they need, what they're
mm-hmm,
talking about, because the more you see them, then you can kind of shift to like what their needs and wants are versus
mm-hmm,
like, this is just an idea. But if you see your teachers aren't really liking these things or they're not really gravitating towards those things, but they're gravitating towards other things, then yeah, you have to shift with wherever your teachers'
mm-mm,
wants and needs are. But it's just fun.
right. Yeah, I guess for now, the most important thing is though, like making sure that the students get friends, they
Yeah.
get good replies.
You're like, let's start with the basics.
Yes, and get the schedules matched.
Yes. Yes.
The schedule
Schedules
thing is
first. Forget all the other stuff.
I think the schedule thing is like a really something that should be tackled for sure as soon as possible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's super important. I like your sweaters. Do you have a bunny on your sweater?
Oh yeah,
It's so cute. Aww. The rabbit. Oh, so cute.
Isn't it the
yeah.
year of the rabbit too?
It is, and it's a
Yes,
black
it
rabbit
is.
deer.